Yeah. Do you remember, like, last time I was on the podcast, we talked about the saga of CM Punk.
Yes, definitely.
Where did we leave off with that? Because boy, have we come a long way since then.
There were rumors and speculations he might be joining the WWE.
Okay, so I hate how much I talk, and I hate how much energy in my brain I waste on Phil Brooks, aka CM Punk.
Yeah.
He is in the WWE. He made his shock return after almost 10 years at the end of Survivor Series in Chicago in his hometown. Uh, he didn't even put pen to paper until early that day, so there was speculation that it was happening before it was even officially happening. I think that speculation kind of fueled it a little bit. But with with that, the landscape of pro wrestling has shifted significantly because fans and supporters of AEW, such as myself, I'm
Mhm.
wearing an AEW shirt right now, have seen the product quality go downhill.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and since CM Punk joined WWE again, their merchandise sales have gone through the roof. They're selling out non-televised shows like at Madison Square Garden, fucking sold out because it was CM Punk's first match. I don't remember if it was the Madison Square Garden or the Kia Forum, but he had a match on in each of those venues that wasn't televised and sold out both venues just because CM Punk was headlining. It's insane. And now Warner Bros. Discovery is reportedly in talks to licensing Monday Night Raw. Warner Bros. Discovery owns TNT and TBS, and if you're a fan of All Elite Wrestling, you'll know their shows are on TNT and TBS. So what this means is essentially CM Punk could potentially get AEW kicked off of the network they've been on since their inception of AEW.
Hmm.
They could be kicked off to Discovery Plus or the Discovery Channel, or I don't know what that's even potentially going to look like if WBD, if they don't merge with Paramount, but
Yeah.
or pick up the scraps of Paramount, but just because of the money that CM Punk brings with him wherever he goes. I'm talking about him right now, and I can't stand the guy. Like
Yeah.
I've never been a fan. I'm a fan of pro wrestling. I respect what he's done for pro wrestling as a whole and the money that he brings into it and the eyes and everything. But I'm not a fan of him. Just the connotation of him being able to get AEW kicked off of their home network is insane to me.
Now, does he have a direct like beef with AEW, or
Yeah.
is it just
Well,
what is
when
that?
he was in AEW, he felt like he was too big. Reportedly, this is all hearsay. I
Mhm.
just I wasn't even a fly on the wall. I'm a fan, so I
Yeah.
listen to things and I put things together. But he reportedly was saying that he was too big of a star for that company. They're kids compared to him.
Yeah.
Yeah, not even when he joined AEW, he was all high, like riding his high horse about being able to train all the young kids that were working there. And then within a year, he said how he hates working with a bunch of fucking kids. Like it was just a complete 180, too big
Yeah.
for that company. So they fired him after some backstage fights that he was involved with. He wasn't the only one. Obviously, it takes two to tango in most
Mhm.
situations. The last one, Tony Khan said he felt like his life was in danger. Tony Khan's the guy that
Oh
owns
wow.
AEW. He said his life was in danger. They fired him, and after whatever non compete was over, he went straight to WWE, and that's that.
Looking at his impact on WWE, do you think he's right though? Was he too big for AEW?
Oh yeah, absolutely he was. I mean,
Yeah.
like they're a 5 year old company. WWE's been around since well, if you want to go back to like the WWF when there's three
Yeah.
W's, the Worldwide Wrestling Federation when it was Vince Senior. Like that company's been around for nearly 100 years. Like.
Mhm.
At what point is The Rock going to be public domain? Like, you know,
Oh my god.
but I mean, yeah, AEW has a tendency to present itself as a small time company doing things kind of hokey. They're better than they were, and that's not a discredit to the wrestlers. The wrestling is top fucking notch in
Mhm.
AEW, absolute top notch. But as far as production and booking and stuff goes, it's kind of there's a lot left to be desired.
Well, and with him leaving, that's probably them losing sponsors, losing filling up venues and stuff like that. That's probably why the production has gone down because suddenly they don't have the star on the stage anymore.
The production wasn't really there to begin with, but their ticket sales have definitely gone down. Their ratings have decreased. In all fairness, Tony Khan even said that both AEW Dynamite and Monday Night Raw have decreased similarly in ratings year on year, and it's still not slowing down as much as the rest of TV is. So wrestling's still hot right now.
Yeah, it definitely is. Yeah,
But there's definitely been a shift with just one dude jumping ship. Much bigger shift than when Cody Rhodes, who founded AEW, left to go to WWE.
so with CM Punk, how has things been going with him on WWE? I know he's selling out, venues, but
He hasn't had a televised match yet.
That's insane that he's
Yeah.
that big of a splash right now. Because I mean, like I'm saying, like as somebody who's just like, I'm interested in learning more about it, but not necessarily watching it all the time. You see a lot of CM Punk right now.
Yep.
You think he's on the screen a lot, but damn.
Well, I mean, he's on TV. Like, what day is this airing? Tuesday.
Tuesday, yeah.
So, as of last night, then tomorrow night for us recording it, they're actually in Portland. They're in my neck of the woods for Monday Night Raw, and I was like, I don't watch WWE, but I'm like, I could go. And then they advertise CM Punk. I'm like, all right, I'm not going. They don't need my money. Whatever. Like, I don't. I would be surprised if they sell out the Moda Center because I don't know if wrestling can sell out the Moda Center in this day and age. But if there's a guy to do it, it's CM Punk.
It's crazy. He's and it's funny because he's so big and he's kind of like the anti-establishment big boy, like the bad guy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of funny that he's the reason that's everything's going well corporately.
That's the funny thing that a lot of people have been bringing up. He is the voice of the voiceless, but now he's just the voice. Like he's the voice of the company. Like he's the guy. Like
Yeah.
yeah, it's insane.
Because he's that persona, do you think people like Triple H or people who are in charge don't like him because he is so anti them?
He and Triple H have reportedly been like they haven't liked each other since CM Punk first joined WWE back in like like in 2010, 2009, whenever it was that he started there. But Triple H is running the show now, and he's the one that made the decision to bring CM Punk back. So
sounds like it was a good decision, though. It sounds like you just knocked out your competitor.
I mean, yeah, absolutely, and that's been Triple H's goal, and he's hitting it. Yep.
So returning back to our discussion on mergers. Is that in the cards, do you think, for AEW to be swallowed up?
No. I think that they will... I'm not going to say they're like CD Projekt Red and they're going to stay independent, but right now they're not beholden to anybody. They're on... They have deals with Warner Bros. Discovery to be on their networks, but it's not like WCW where Ted Turner owned WCW. Tony Khan owns AEW, and he's not an executive at any of those companies, so he's his own boss, and he's got loads of money from owning a soccer club, and his family owns a football team, so an NFL team, so they got money.
So so they could just let it float a little while until something happens.
Yeah,
until
and
they, like get somebody out of retirement or something.
The first Dynamite is their main show. The first Dynamite of the new year was already, I thought, a hell of a lot better than almost anything they've had in the last year for TV.
Oh,
so
okay.
I think they've got plans in motion.
Okay. I wish we talked more about wrestling. Honestly, the fandom's so crazy for it, and it's interesting to hear the drama that's like more dramatic than like something on HBO, which might be where AEW goes. Actually, is on premiere on.
I think that's why WWE is doing it, though. I think that's the biggest thing that they brought CM Punk back for, was because they know people like me will talk about it. Everybody online that talks about wrestling is talking about CM Punk and the drama behind it, because everybody that knows, that's been following it, knows all the backstage stuff that he caused in AEW and that he caused before that in WWE and can cause again. So Triple H is very, very good at planning around people like me that know how to get a peek behind the curtain. And he lives off of that. He lives off of toying with people like me, and it's amazing. He's really good at his job. I'm a Triple H fanboy.
As a 90s wrestling fan, it was just like, he's the guy that The Rock doesn't like, so I don't like him.
See, I didn't like The Rock because I've always been a Triple H guy. Yeah, I've always been a Triple H guy.
I remember, Jonathan, I'm sure you remember this too, like, we were Rikishi fans, really. And so we're like, I hear The Rock and Rikishi are related. I think that's his uncle and stuff like that. And that was the big thing. Like, every time Rikishi and the two guys. God, what was that? Be
Oh
cool, like
yeah.
too
Too
cool to
cool.
be cool. Too cool.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, Scotty Too
Whatever.
Hottie and Grandmaster Sexy.
There we go. Every time they were out there with Rikishi, and like, oh man, they're losing this. Maybe The Rock will join them. I think one time The Rock did join them, and it was like, holy shit, it's all over, y'all, and it was so big.
Oh, this is neither here nor there, and we can cut this off whenever you want. But The Rock just came back on SmackDown or Raw last week, I think it was,
Mm-hmm.
and he's supposedly going to feud with Roman Reigns, who is one of The Rock's other cousins. So
Yeah,
that's awesome.
yeah. I remember them doing a piece on this on John Oliver talking about how like Roman Reigns was like, we need another Rock, so let's just go to the family and get one. Yeah. The Rock's actually got a really big project coming up because the UFL is coming out in the spring, which is his football league. Well, the USFL was his football league. It merged with XFL, which is a wrestling league.
No,
And
he
something
bought
like
the
that.
XFL. The USFL.
He bought the
wasn't
XFL. That's
his.
what it was.
Yeah, XFL
Okay,
was
that's what it
his.
was. So, anyways, now it's all the UFL. It's all mashed together, and that's coming out this spring. So we'll see how active he is out on the football. That'd be pretty good.